looking at the Glamlite and Barbie collection. So I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Barbie. Iconic to be sure, and there's lots of people who have both memories of Barbie in their youth and also are collectors. But for me, I've ended up falling in love with the Glamlite formulation. So I'm more in love with the Glamlite makeup than Barbie, but it just so happens that some of these color stories and the lip products especially were highly intriguing to me, and so I picked up the collection. Now I only picked up the regular collection, not the PR box. The PR box has some artwork in it, but it does not have the surfboard packaging for the liquid eyeliner. Not that I think that this is going to be a collector's item for me, but I would rather see the packaging for the thing rather than just the PR packaging, because the artwork I don't need. But I did end up picking this up. I had waffled back and forth about the full collection versus picking up just the lip collection, and I ended up wanting to pick up all of the pieces because I wanted to see what would Glamlite do with a liquid eyeliner formula. What would they come up with for the added lip products? And so I finally decided to dive in. Now I'm going to be regifting the body oil, the shimmering body oil, because I don't use that. For me, it's just an accident waiting to happen generally if there's something shimmery and large volumes of liquid. So that is going to be regifted. But everything else I'm super excited about. Now the palette. Let's talk about the palette really quick. I feel like, and there's the mirror, and here's the color story. Now, I actually feel like for a lot of people, these larger palettes get intimidating, and what I would like you to think of, and this is how I ended up putting together the swatches, is in quads. So here's a quad, here's a quad, here's a quad, and so forth. So what I felt like was that each color story fit together well, made sense to me, and also gave me a place to start in the palette. Now, Angelica Nyquist did a great 2 looks with this, one of them using more of a bronzy, with this as a base, and the bronze and gold look, and the other, the purple pink sort of a look that one might expect from this. Now what I'm going to do today is actually going off of the gold and teal look because I have a concept going on. But anyway, that's the palette. And the one nice thing about this is, and the owner and CEO, Giselle, put out a little card with this, talking about as an Afro-Latina wanting to promote inclusivity in Barbie. And I actually think that's really great because this is kind of the gateway drug of toys for a lot of children is the Barbie, and being able to see Barbies of different colors, fabulous fashion fun Barbie, seeing the Barbie in different colors, whatever represents where you're at, I think is really empowering for lots of young people and for people who are parenting their inner child. I also think as an artist, when I think about artists, the Barbie movie is not out till next July. May I say Ryan Gosling looks very, very tasty in that, as Ken. But anyway, that's coming out in July. So I don't necessarily, I know they're starting to show promo pics of that. I'm not sure if they've finished principal photography on that or not, and they're just in editing, but the launch date is for July of next year. So I don't necessarily think that it is a function of the movie yet. I feel like with Glamlite having a Scooby-Doo collab coming up for October, I feel like what's happening is that they're getting all these interesting collabs with these great iconic names, not only to bring more spotlight on the brand, Glamlite, but also I feel like this is a way that if my guess is correct, that it's taking all these iconic things and bringing them into a new space where we can reimagine them. I feel like this is really important. It's the sort of things like Bridgerton, with reimagining a history where African American people can be part of this Regency Tawn fabulousness, rather than just having all of the stories be about hardship. So I feel like it's giving people this inclusivity to a different history and backstory. And I feel like having a fabulous creator making these things, the Afro-Latina vision of inclusivity is really great. And I think that's a great place to start as far as, they get them while they're young, for all of us, even for someone like me. If I could go back in time and having access to having different toned skin of Barbies would be a really great way to start seeing the world as inclusive without even having that be a thing. It's like they're all just fabulous dolls that we play with. But it represents the world rather than just a smaller snippet of the world. But back to the makeup. So I've been in love with the Glamlite lip formula since Angelica she influenced me to get the Frosted Flakes palette. So I got both of the lip kits from the Frosted Flake palettes. So this is we've got the gloss and the lip liner, and then my favorite, this lip liner. It came with a lipstick, but the lipstick I didn't love. It was all right. I liked the feel of it, but it was a light peachy color that just didn't work for me. So that has since left my collection. But I loved those formulas. And then Michaela Pot 2 came out with 2 lip kits. One was the lighter lip kit, and that was going to be too light for me, and I knew none of that was really going to work. But I did pick up the deeper of the colors of the lip kit, and there's also a lipstick that goes with this, and I'm going to insert pictures of all of these. But loved that darker lip kit, and I did do swatches of the new. This is the old, so from here we're going for the lighter colored of the Frosted Flakes, the deeper colored for the Frosted Flakes, and then the deeper liner in the Michaela kit. And then this is the Barbie. So we're looking at the deepest, the yellow liner, the blue liner, and the pink liner, the packaging that is. So you can see that we're getting a lot deeper and more variation as far as the new lip kits go. Now, I feel like this is incredibly giftable. Each of the lip kits comes in its own little box with its own color story and packaging. And if we're coming up on holidays, this would be great if you have people in your life that need stocking stuffers or Hanukkah gifts. That you could split these up. You could, if you didn't care about the packaging, but you could gift these packages. They're $20 a piece, and I feel like they are super giftable. The lightest pink version, that one, the lip color in that is so light and sparkly, but any of the glosses could go to very young people in your lives, and just like I said, older people who are parenting their youngsters inside, or people who just love makeup. I really would like to stress how much this makeup itself is just fantastic. So anyway, we're gonna get into a look. Go us. And I'll just chat while we're doing it, because I feel like this is actually surprisingly interesting, like the places you could go with this. And as Angelica showed, you could get a bronzy sort of a look. I feel like this palette is more saturated and deep than some of the promo pictures look like. Some of the promo pictures just really kind of show up the tones as lighter than they actually are in person. And some of them are lighter colors but very vibrant, the vibrancy of the color is very high. So we're going to do a look. Like I said, we're going to do this row here. So let's get started. Now for me, taking off my spectacles, for me, growing up in a place that was cold and had lots of snow, I am more than happy to be thinking about these lovely warm summer colors any time of year. I remember just really wanting to be elsewhere, and I had the one Barbie I don't know if it was a Barbie or it was a knockoff Barbie, but you could put her in the cupboard and she would go really pale, and if you took her out to the light she would get a tan. And I think that was most appealing to me, not because I was like excited about Barbie, but I was excited about being somewhere warm where I could tan. And I think it was just, you know, a sign that I should move to California and live happily ever after. So winning. Anyway, we're gonna start in, we're gonna do the Leave a Message, and this is the matte turquoise. And I'm gonna use my smaller mirror and just dip my brush because it's really hard for you to see what I'm doing. But I'm taking my fluffy brush and I'm dipping it into the Leave a Message. And we're gonna be careful with this because it is hugely pigmented. Yes. We're gonna be doing this in the crease. So I feel like there's a lot of places that do beach parties in the winter time for themed parties. And I also feel like, you know, we're getting on Halloween, probably one of the couples themed costumes that you could do would be a Barbie and Ken. Just put your hair in a side ponytail, wear a Hawaiian flowery shirt, and there you go. Okay, as you can see, really pigmented. And I'm going in with a fluffy light brush, theoretically light-handedly with it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in, we're doing all of the deep colors first. The Friend Zone, this is the deep bluish teal, and I'm gonna be going in with, let me take my packer brush instead. This is the Luxie Precision Shader. And we're going to go in with that. And this is actually a fairly quick look to do. I feel like I like things that are fast, that I don't have to spend hours putting together, because I got to go to work even on a Saturday. So here we go. Dipping back into that. And I want to put just a little tiny in on the bottom lash line because I want to save that gold for the inner corner and a lot of the bottom lash line, but I do want to give a little bit of that deeper color to give a shape to the eye. Now the nice thing about this too is I really have not had a lot of problem with fallout, even these deep colors. And again, your mileage may vary. You might test them out first using one of the eye guards or a Post-it. Now you could go very lightly with all of this and have just a very sophisticated look. I'm going a little bit deeper because I want to have that punchy color payoff. Okay, I'm getting just a little bit of that for the lower lash on the very tip of my brush. Okay, now we're gonna go into, we're gonna take a finger application, and we're going to do the vacay. And we're going to do just in the center of that. Okay. And see, bow. Glamlite has such really amazing shimmers. Like if you want something that's fantastic payoff for a shimmer, you'd be blinded for weeks. Not actually blinded, but the glow from the product, the shiny, shimmery fabulousness will be blinding to other people, not you. And it's so much fun. I just have a lot of fun. So you could just leave it like this if you wanted to and put something else in there. But what I want to do is really utilize this gold. And I got to show you this gold. Just, it's in the swatch that I showed you, but I got to see, you got to see it firsthand. Not flipping you off. But look at that. Okay, we're going to go in the inner corner with that, and then we're going to go under the lash line. So this is Summer Dreams. And going into a little bit of the vacay. So you can see that. And going up some. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my pencil brush just to do the lower line. Okay, so I'm gonna go do this lower line. I'm gonna come from the inner corner. And you could use one of the other colors if you wanted a more blinding inner corner highlight. Or you could use a highlighter. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go all along the bottom line. And this doesn't necessarily show up as much on camera. When we get a little closer, you'll be able to see it more. But in real life, oh, she's stunning. When the light hits this. Okay. So the last thing I want to do, it's the only time I'm going to come in a little bit with one of the other colors. I'm going to go back in with my floofy brush. And I'm going to pick up just a little bit of one of the lighter matte colors. This is going to be Chillin'. Pick up just a little bit of that on my fluffy brush. And what I want to do is just add a little warmth along the top and a little blending. So I'm going to blend through here. Okay, going back into Chillin' on this side. And then we're going to do something else with this. Now I am waiting impatiently for Glamlite to start doing blushes. Impatiently. So in just a second here, we're actually going to go back into Chillin' for a little bit of cheek color. But for the moment, we're going to pop over, grab our liquid liner. So this is the little surfboard coffin for the liner. Put my mirror down to open it. And this is the packaging of that. Okay, and we're just gonna do just a wee bit of liner around the edges because I don't want to get too much of a black line because we're trying to keep it light. So here we go. So just around the edges and winging it out just a tiny bit, just enough to give us a little bit of definition. And same on the bottom. Okay. It doesn't feel scratchy or too stiff. Okay, so I'm going to do some quick mascara here, and then we're going to add a little bit of blush, and then we'll do the exciting lip, which is what I've just been so excited about this whole time, this whole lip story that Glamlite's got going on. Okay, we're gonna do quick blush. So I have my pinpointed, this is my Sigma brush again, and I like using it whenever I'm trying to go some monochromatic looks, using as a blush color some of my colors from palettes. So I'm gonna take just the very edge of this and dip back into chillin'. Again, I'm just very gently, because this is a more cool toned color. But I just want to give a little bit of a nod to that. Just a little bit. Because the rest of our face, we're staying pretty fresh faced. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Unisex Healthy Glow on with just a little bit of the Wander Beauty powder on my T-zone. So we are still waiting to see what the Scooby-Doo Glamlite is going to be, but hopefully. Okay, so here we go. There's the palette. So now we're gonna dive into the lip collection. Yes. Okay, so let me put on my spectacles again. Ah, there you are. Okay, so we are going to, I wanted to do a little mix and matching, because I feel like this would do well with like a pink look. So what I want to do is, here's our liners again. There's the pink liner and the pink gloss. I didn't compare it to any of the earlier Glamlite glosses. They all look slightly different but kind of the same, but this pink gloss is really, it has more of a pink base to it. So what we're doing is we're just going to use the lip liner and the, as it falls on the floor, the lip liner and the gloss. So it's one of those things that it's like, I feel like you can mix and match these items, And I would do that, but I feel like that's a little unfair if you're just looking at it wanting to pick up one kit. So we're gonna do the pink one minus the lipstick, because the lipstick, well, yes, we could do it that way, you could see it. The lipstick is just very shiny. It reminds me a little bit of like the Pat McGrath Divinal Nude Venus, but it doesn't feel that way at all in texture. It just has that kind of the same, a little bit of the same light read, except for it's not quite as blindy as the Pat McGrath. So here, okay, we're gonna go in with the pink lip liner. I am really excited to give all of these a full test run, and using different mixing and matching. I really like the lipsticks, the blue and the yellow lipsticks. They're very nice, very, very nice. Okay, so we'll start with we'll do the pink one for this one. Packaging, very cute branded packaging. It's plastic, it's a harder plastic, but you can feel the paper outsides of them. So they feel cute. They feel cute. They're cute. They're a little kitschy, but they're fun. But again, it's the product inside of them. So as long as you're not embarrassed to be packing around a Barbie lipstick, which you shouldn't be, because, you know, screw other people, they're not having any fun anyway. So you might as well. But as long as you don't mind packing around those, you know, they don't feel like a luxe experience, but they're really, really, I've been really enjoying them as makeup. So here we go. This is the lipstick. It does have sparkly in it. But if you had a young person in your life that was wanting to play with makeup, and you didn't want to worry about having it all over their face or other things, this is just a lighter color that they could play with too, or that I could play with, because I love that shiny look. So then the gloss. Now the gloss also has the Barbie packaging, plastic, you know, fairly solid. And then really, really nice. I was going to show you the lipstick on the top. Hopefully you can see that's the Barbie logo, the little icon of her with the hair. So it's all very branded. Okay, so we're going to come in with this lip gloss. Doe Foot. Nice lip gloss, not too sticky feeling at all. Just gonna add a little bit more color. I'll swatch this here so you can see the amount of color payoff to it, as opposed to some of the other with the lip glosses. This has a pink base to it, so you can see on top there, pink, and then the sparkly. Okay, so here we go. I feel like I'm ready for endless summer, even if it's going into winter. When I moved, I had a car that had a plug coming out of the front grille, so you could plug your car in so your engine block didn't freeze. So I am more than happy to have an off-season release that's celebrating summer. And I really like these products as products. I don't think you would not be unhappy with the makeup itself if you got this. And if you like the branding, then even more so. So we've got this dream summer, we've got inclusivity, we've got cuteness, and even if you have a dark heart, maybe you just don't show anybody that you have this, because you can get really blingy, awesome, vibrant looks out of this and nobody would know you were using a Barbie palette. Just saying. So anyway, so I'm enjoying Endless Summer Fun. Try it out. I think you'd really like the products themselves, even if you can't get behind Barbie. And maybe if you just want to dip your toes in Glamlite, there's a Frosted Flakes palette. And if you don't want to get too silly, you can go to the Dirty Martini or the Chocolate Martini palette. Those are fabulous, and they're, you know, drinkables. So there you have it, Glamlite. Thank you. This is so much fun. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see the look. Don't panic. Okay, there you have it. All right. Hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.